Need a break from your hectic lifestyle? This week, we go zen at Kelong 51, get served by French mates right here in Singapore, and get inspired by a young and successful entrepreneur on how to set up your own business. All of this and more right here on Freshen Up. Hello and welcome to the special summer episode of Freshen Up, your guide to what's new and fresh in town. I'm Philip, and in this episode, I'll be taking you to places that will leave you spot for choice on how to spend your summer holidays. First up, let's head down to Mount Sophia, where you can experience firsthand the glory of Singapore's film history.
Find any of these films familiar? You can now catch them again in Cinema Old School, Singapore's first independent cinema for local films. Situated at the top of Mount Sophia, the theatre showcases local blockbusters as well as those from the past. For just $5, you can watch Singaporean classics such as Wild Wild Rose and Air Hostess.
For the longest time, this was what was missing. To bring filmmakers and film lovers, as well as people who want to probably explore Singapore films.
Besides acting as a conservatorium for local films, Cinema Old School serves an educational purpose as well.
If one is like a bit nostalgic, or is interested to find out about what Singapore was like, or how were films made back then, they will learn a lot.
With screenings thrice a week and a theatre that sits 150 people, response has been positive.
In school, we really don't get a lot of exposure to the art scene. Opportunities like this, where we go on field trips to like cinema or other places that showcases the art scene in Singapore, are just giving us more exposure and experience and more insights to the art scene in Singapore.
We are exposed to so many art forms that are more Western, and we live in a very postmodern age. So really to ask themselves questions about what makes them Singaporean, what makes a film Singaporean.
However, some feel that cinema has the potential to become even bigger in Singapore.
I think there isn't much hype as well. I mean, there could be more hype, so yeah, they should probably publicize it more, with flyers or advertisements or something like that.
Besides being a movie theatre, Cinema Old School also sells merchandise and items from local films.
We have set up a retail space that sells Singapore music CDs, books as well. What we want to do is basically get filmmakers who are perhaps looking for an idea or story to pick up, let's say, a book. I say, hey, I could probably turn this into a film.
If you're tired of watching your regular blockbusters during the summer holidays, why not come on to Cinema Old School, where you can get a whole new experience by watching movies with a local flavour. Back to you, Philip.
For just $5, it certainly seems like a worthwhile trip to make, just to immerse yourself in the good old days. Going to the cinema may be all the rage back then, but Japanese anime has been gaining popularity in Singapore. Let Valerie take you on a trip to a cafe where anime comes to life in the form of French maids.
Welcome home, master. A welcome couldn't get warmer than this. At waitresses in French maid costumes and attentive service from them, you will have nothing short of a unique experience. Sounds more like fantasy than reality? Right here in Singapore, you can experience it in the first ever cosplay cafe. Situated in Chimes, Kosafe started operations as a cafe in 2006 and has since been revamped to include a bar. A concept introduced in Japan's Akihabara district, maid cafes have since made their way to the local scene with Kosafe Maid Bar and Restaurant.
The service here is definitely a little more different. It's a little more passionate, it's a little more attentive.
And its formula seems to be a success. The restaurant now enjoys a healthy mix of customers from expatriates to students. Cosplay fans also make bookings for private functions. Despite having an extensive menu and a well-stocked bar, its main attraction nevertheless is still its French maids. One of them is cosplay lover Luelle Ng, who gets to merge passion with work.
When I joined this place, I've been in the cosplay society for about 3-4 years. So this is like taking my hobby and then adding pay to it.
However, the unique French maid costumes have caused their own problems as well.
I feel nasty experience. Yeah, probably can share with you guys, with my Japanese customers. Yeah, after a few drinks, so they came up to me and then they asked me, what's wrong with the Meadows skirts? It's far too long. That's how different the culture is as compared to the Japanese Meadow cafes and of course our very first own maid cafes.
But the question still remains. How receptive are people here to this concept?
这个他们的 idea 很特别，很适合我们这样的人一起去吧。
I think most guys like to be served by girls who are wearing short skirts, you know, and black stocking.
I think the concept is a bit sleazy, but generally I think it's just want to increase just want to raise our curiosity from other people, and they want to earn money from people's curiosity. That's what I think.
I think it's tongue-in-cheek but slightly sleazy because I have this image of women in very short skirts parading around the restaurant. I guess I'm fine with it, but I wouldn't go there regularly just to be served by them.
Thank you. Some people may still feel uncomfortable at letting a person in a French maid uniform serve them. But I, for one, would not want to miss out on this one-of-its-kind experience in Singapore.
Neither would I, Valerie. I'm sure many anime fans would agree too. Moving on, have you ever wondered where you can go for a holiday for just $30? At Kelong 51, you can get more than you've bargained for. Plenty of sunshine, seafood, and serenity that will soothe your soul.
Fancy getting hooked on an unusual experience? Offshore fishing is the answer to a boring island life this holiday. Just a 12-minute boat ride from the mainland, Kelong 51 can be reached only via boat from the SAF Sembawang Yacht Club. A kelong is a Malay word to describe a platform used by fishermen primarily for fishing purposes. And some, like Kelong 51, are able to accommodate visitors for short stays. So what draws them here?
这个地方好像比较清洁啦。 而且，还有很多朋友在一起哦，是一种兴趣啦。钓鱼是一个很好的娱乐了，可以说你在这边钓鱼，你在那个时间上啊，你就不会想到赌钱。
Aside from fishing, the kelong also rears fish such as barramundi, garupa, and sea bass, which are caught from the sea and bred until they are large enough to be sold commercially in markets and to restaurants. However, not all the fish caught here can be consumed. Breeds such as the spotted scat and the catfish are poisonous.
那个是金钩 ，then 那个是给它叮到了，你们不小心给它的那个什么 fin 啊叮到了，来你们会痛啊，麻掉，连整只手好像没有力这样哦。for the most is one whole day 啦。
Apart from having to deal with poisonous fish, Mr. Lam also faces other problems.
If the fish neck is torn right, then all the fish will run away lor. Then that goes our hard work lor. The fish still hang around here lor, because every day we feed them then they cannot go anywhere else. Then we fish them lor.
If the only kind of fish you've ever seen are the ones on your dining table, come down to Kelong 51 for a truly eye-opening experience. Who knows, you may just get lucky.
Now that's my idea of paradise. A place to de-stress and get in touch with nature. Well, all this talk is getting me hungry. What will our food guru Regina recommend for us this week? Let's find out.